Are we on? Are we good? Just have to make sure the audio levels are all good. Alright, yeah. So since I don't have a capture card, this is what we've got. Yep, the audio levels are all good, and I don't even need to wear these things. Yeah, this is what we got. Also, as you may have noticed, we've got a change of scenery back here. It's a bit messy, but it'll make do. Yeah, it's a bit messy. Room's changing. And now I'm just hearing myself from like 10 seconds ago, so that's cool. And we're going to do this just for fun. You enjoy that? You like that? It's fun, right? Sorry, I'm probably going to make someone sick doing that. So, this is where the camera's going. It's not the best solution I could come up with, but it'll make do. We've also got some pieces of tape for the shoulder buttons right there. And as you can see, we've got a counter right next to me, and then a timer. And then also, right here is my personal counter that I'll be counting on. And most of these, right here, the Blacephalon is the first one I got. We got Uxie, Groudon, Dialga, Latios, and Mesprit. And tonight, we'll be going after Rayquaza. And as you can see, we're already up to 516. So this has been going on for a bit now. Let's maybe get a little messed up, but you know what? We'll make do with what we've got. Maybe. It's going to be a bit awkward. Let it focus, and there we go. This is so awkward. So we got the timer there. Might as well just set that to start. And then get that +1. Get this tape on here. Yes, this is awkward and weird. And the camera angle is not that amazing, but we are making do with what we've been given. So just be happy that I'm even doing something. I'm joking, of course. You don't have to be happy that I'm doing anything. And that's one down. I'm going to adjust the camera, actually. Yeah, the camera. Configure video. We're going to bring that contrast right up. Adjust the sharpness a little bit. It's the really bright scenes that are going to be difficult to see in there. And I do not want to listen to myself. And this just looks weird now. Oh, there we go. And we are off. Probably went too far with the sharpness and the contrast. So I will again attempt to fix those. Alright, that's good. And now I shouldn't have to mess with anything again. Yeah, that bright screen is going to get real annoying on your end. We've got the shoulder buttons taped down just so I don't have to push those down every time and it frees up my hands to do other stuff. So let's see, yeah. I've just been shiny hunting in Ultra Sun for a bit now, trying to get all the legendaries because this is like the easiest game to get them in. Well, this and Ultra Moon, which I will probably end up starting sometime soon-ish. And as you can see, I've already gotten a few of the shinies. I got, my first one was Blacephalon, one of the Ultra Beasts, which in this game do not have a limited supply, except for Blacephalon and Stakataka, which is a bit annoying. But all the other ones you can just catch infinite, as many as you want, so that's cool. And then I got Blacephalon in about 400 encounters, which is pretty good. That's really lucky. Then Uxie I got in about 400 encounters, No, that was 300 encounters. What's wrong with me? I just showed it on camera. And then Groudon took 1,091, so that was fun. Let's see. Right after that, Dialga. Only 13 encounters, which I thought was just insanity. Latios, 181. That's not bad. That's really, really good. And then along came a Zelf, which is still ongoing because it broke odds at 1,365. I encountered it like 5 more times just to see. Nothing happened. Then I moved on to, let's see, what is it, Mesprit, and that took about, why am I even saying this? I can just check right now. Mesprit took 203, which again, good odds. But as you can see now with Rayquaza, we're up to 530. And here we are now. I've just basically caught you up to present time. Also, my setup here is amazing, as you saw on screen. You didn't get to see the full setup, which I could show you now, just real quick to show you what it looks like between the resets. But we've got, let it adjust real quick, we've got the chat box, we've got the calculator, we've got the timer, all set up so that you can see with visual aids what's going on. And again, I would like to apologize, but I won't, for the not owning a 3DS capture card, because one, those things are expensive, and two, the only ways to really get them is to make it yourself or send a 3DS to someone and hope they send it back. Something about that doesn't make me want to do it. Meaning I just spent $200 to $300 on another 3DS or 2DS, and now I have no real guarantee whether I'm getting that back. What am I, a crazy person? I'm going on eBay, sending an out-of-production console into some random person I don't know to have them mess around with my game console? I don't think so. I don't think so. So yeah, we're doing pretty good here. Every reset takes about 20 seconds with these legendaries. It's a little awkward with the setup. As you can see, I'm holding. Oh, good. Someone answered the poll. They said yes. Not sure if the poll will be an accurate representation of what actually happens here, but someone said yes. Nice. But yeah, as you can see, as I just pointed out, right there, you can see I'm holding the second camera. That just looks wrong. I was just going to have it perched on my shoulder or dangling down, but I found that that had too many issues going along with it, such as not being able to control where it's pointing. Awkward is your middle name? No, it's not. I mean, sure, my middle name does start with an A, but it's not awkward. At least that's what I think it was. Yeah, we're going at a relatively decent pace here. My luck has been pretty good the past week, so there's that. And if this ever gets too boring or fails to maintain interest, I could always just switch over to playing something of interest. Like playing, I have no idea. It's getting hot in here. How many resets have I done so far? On this in particular, or like an accumulative resets on everything? Because let's see, if we're talking for just this so far, oh, just today on my stream, well, we started the counter at 516, so we've gone about 31 resets so far as of the time that I'm answering this question, and we will hit 32 now. I just wanted an accurate representation of the real number of encounters on this thing and not just how many have happened total on the stream. I wanted an... Oh, I have 2 votes for yes now. Whoever voted yes the second time, thank you as well. Again, I'm not sure if it'll actually help my luck or anything, but hopefully it translates into actual luck. Also, we haven't even hit halfway with the odds yet, so I think we're still doing pretty good. Just in case anyone's wondering, the odds of this occurring are about 1 in 1,365. And those aren't the base odds. The base odds are like 1 in 4,024 or something about like that. If we could hit it on 555, that would actually be pretty cool. Yeah, if we hit it on this next one, that'd be really, really funny. It's just like this. Oh, that's sad. It's this inside joke with my family. If we see numbers with 3 of the same digit in it, like every time we're in the car or something and someone says, "What time is it?" it's usually like 222 or 555. And then sometimes we'll purposefully wait like a minute just to say that it's 223, so we don't have to answer at the exact time, just to be a little stupid about it would be an accurate term or an accurate way of saying that. Surprisingly, the camera view on this isn't as bad as I thought it would be. It's a little awkward holding it this way, though. And my legs are cramping up a bit. But I'm doing this for you. I am doing this all for you guys. Not at all so I can monetize content that I've just been doing in my free time. I would never do that. Yeah, that's neat. We got 2-0 votes on whether or not we'd see a shiny in this stream. And good thing this is one that stands out compared to some other ones where it's like Dialga, which I got really early with only 13 resets again. And that is one of the harder to notice ones. Like instead of being a different color altogether, it's just like a lighter shade of blue. Barely noticeable. But if you're looking hard enough, you can see it. But there haven't been a lot of these that I've done where the difference is extremely minute and you have to pay attention the whole time. And thank goodness I have a charger up here in case I need one. Just gonna adjust my position. Get a bit more comfortable. That brightness really affects the focus every single time. That's fun. Switching camera hands real quick. Getting really stuffy in here. Heat always does travel upwards, so that's nice. Don't worry, we will know this when we see it. Instead of regular Rayquaza, which you've seen quite a few times now, being green, its shiny is black. The highlight's like green. Yes, this is riveting. See, even if nobody really watches this, I'm still getting practice talking pretending to interact with an audience. Because see, here's the thing. If you can't remain positive and upbeat, even if nobody's watching, what's the point? Like if you were just tired and sat there in silence the entire time and you had no viewers, obviously that's the reason why nobody's watching you. Also, if you make awesome thumbnails like I do, people are definitely not going to watch you. That thumbnail was not good whatsoever. It's the most work I've ever done in Photoshop, to be honest. Doesn't mean it's good. Now see, just getting it to show up, it's only half the battle. Actually catching it is entirely its own beast. But thankfully I just used the broken global trade system, which has been overrun with bots just giving out overpowered fake Pokemon. Don't ask me how that even happens or why it happens. Now, you're going to say this is riveting. There are people that do this on stream. The only difference between me and them is they have viewers. I'm kidding, of course. They also have larger followings, better equipment, and actual setups to how they do this stuff. They also get paid to do this, so there's also that. That's interesting. There's the reflection of the monitor going into the bottom screen. It's kind of cool. I wonder where that second vote came from. Let's just end the poll at this point. We got 2 votes, 100% yes. Now it legally has to happen. I don't make the rules. I mean, I do make the rules. That's why this is happening the way it is. Any second now. Now see, this is the worst part of streaming anything. If you don't have an audience to bounce stuff off of, bounce energy, communicate with, talk to in any way, you're going to get really bored and tired really fast. And if you're bored and tired, nobody wants to watch you. It's a really vicious cycle, don't you think? So like you can't get viewers if you have next to no viewers. Wait, what did I just say? Did I just say you can't get no viewers if you have, or did I say you can't get? I'm going insane. Honestly, this conversation is riveting. Absolutely nothing happened. See, this is a real problem. If I hold my legs down too far, it's going to start slipping. If I hold them up too high, my knees start to get stiff and sore. First world problems, am I right? Honestly, I think a better way to do this would be to set up something on the ground with the system propped up. But I'm too far in now. Yep, Rayquaza did appear. Now, there has been a slight theme with the nicknames I've been given all these things. First up, we had Blacephalon, which did not start the theme of all the nicknames they've been getting. It was Neophalon. Then we had Uxie, which is basically two shades of yellow, so I nicknamed it Sepia. Then there was Groudon, which its colors are like a yellowish, a goldish yellow. So obviously I had to nickname it Goldon. Dialga was named Diamond, so it's like the exception to the rule. And Latios is Telios. Then we also got the Mesprit, named Maroon. Not an amazing nickname, but accurate. We're going to hit 600 soon. Here we go. Yes, the camera angles are amazing. As you can tell with that video right there of me holding the camera. And with one more, we will hit 600. Somebody popped in. They probably took one look at this and said, "Oh, brother, this guy stinks." And they're just thinking to themselves, "What? Why would I bother watching this guy?" And we hit 600. This pair of headphones is very weird. I have my volume like turned all the way down on them, but the volume knob isn't fully it's fully down, but it's the volume itself isn't. So I'm hearing like a faint echo of myself from like 10 seconds ago. It's getting very awkward to listen to. There's that word again, awkward. I may try changing the setup just to make it a little bit easier to watch and to perform. But we can do this. Let's keep doing this for a bit longer. Bring OBS back up. We've been going for about half an hour now. I can do resets a lot faster, but we're just taking our time. We're relaxing. Am I a reset behind? My phone says 6:05. And let's just, I could have double tapped the screen, but let's just keep those both unison. Was this a bad idea? No. Hello? We got somebody else watching? What is that? Chase Barnett? What's up? As you can see, we're very awkwardly shiny hunting. This is not the best setup possible, but it looks funny. So it's got that going for it. Although thank you for whoever voted in the poll, thank you for saying, who is the last trial? Is it the ghost trial? No, the last trial would be, well, it really depends on which game you're playing. If you're just playing regular Sun and Moon, oh, you're trying to beat the league at the moment. Yeah, it differs between each game. Sun and Moon had its own Elite Four in trials, and then Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon have different trials and Elite Four members. So that's interesting. But let's see, the last trial in regular Sun and Moon would have been the Dragon trial, which wasn't really amazing. You just fight the region pseudo legendary, the Jangmo line, and then your grand trial is fighting Hapu, which she just has a bunch of ground types, which are very easy to beat. In this game, Ultra Sun, the last trial is the Fairy trial, which is just a bunch of fights against all of the other trial leaders. It's like a glorified go around all the islands again. Not really the best trial they could have come up with, but it lets you see how well the other trial leaders train their teams, which they don't. Also, the champion battle in Ultra Sun, big letdown compared to regular Sun. Like the music is nowhere near the amazing levels that the champion battle theme from regular Sun and Moon reached. Sure, they changed it to match up with How's theme a little bit, or it's a remix of How's battle theme, but it's Battle at the Summit is way better. It just gives you this sense of such a long journey finally coming to an end. And it's not just like it's the champion's battle theme. No, in this game, it's your battle theme since you're the first champion. Yeah, let's see. These games really are like the total package. At least the Ultra games are. I felt it was really nice how the stories between both regular Sun and Moon and the Ultra games was changed just enough to make it interesting to sit through. Adding extra characterization to characters who didn't get any before get characterized even better in this game. Like Guzma. Guzma is the best evil team leader in any game, and nobody can convince me otherwise. I played X and Y, so my bar is set pretty low for what makes a good evil team leader. Where we had Lysander in X and Y, who they tried to make you think was a twist villain. If you pull up a picture of Lysander, you could figure out he's the villain just by looking at him for like 3 seconds. In fact, if I'm getting a little bored, I could literally just pull up a picture of that for fun. Because honestly, you can figure out he's the villain in like 2 seconds. The twist comes out of nowhere. He has evil music playing during your first encounter with him. He's talking about ideas that are insane for any human being to think. If only the world could remain beautiful for all time. You do not wish to remain beautiful for all time? Humans destroy the world. And then he essentially has what boils down to like a pyramid scheme or a Ponzi scheme, or your your essential oils parties, your pampered chef parties, your whatnot, where you get your friends to go in with you into your affiliate program. So every member of his team essentially tries to convince you to join, but you have to pay them like $1 million to join. I'm sure that if anyone gets to somebody else to join the group, they get a referral commission or something like that. It was also to guarantee yourself a spot in the New World Order, in which every other human being would be dead because they fired off a death beam. See, people think Thanos did it first. No, it was Lysander who did it first, who was just going to wipe out the entire planet to save natural resources. People don't give enough credit to those games, X and Y. Sure, the story was stupid and how the region wasn't the best designed, but the music was top tier. The characters had some of the better stories that I've seen in any of the games I've played. Sun and Moon might just be the best story I've seen in these games, though. Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon step down in the story overall, but it explores some interesting stuff that Sun and Moon did not get to look at. And then Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire basically just saying, there is a multiverse. Was not something I think anybody would be expecting. Like, Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire are not a remake so much as they are a new game in the same location, just not the same location at all. To explain away certain details, like one of the cities becoming an indoor mall, essentially. Like, that's a drastic change for the remake to make. And that made no sense the way I phrased that. But yeah, let me see. Mauville City in Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. It's just like a regular city with buildings outside that you walk around. In Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, they've literally turned it into an enclosed shopping mall, essentially, with multiple stories. Like, seriously, that is the biggest thing they did to differentiate both of those games from their originals they were modeled after. We got a second vote. Somebody said, yes, this was a bad idea. Well, we've hit over 100 resets now in the stream alone. Watch, it's going to happen and nobody's going to be watching. So this is like an odd question that I'm going to pose. Bad idea, but you're pulling it off somehow? Yeah, right. You ever watching something on YouTube or now streaming services because they put ads on everything too? My goodness. But then you'll get it in a language like Spanish, and they have all these algorithms and whatnot to track all the information about who you are and your life, and you've never listened to anything in Spanish once before in your life on purpose. Why are they targeting ads in Spanish to me? Like, they track us. They give us targeted ads. We know this. Why do they keep giving me Spanish ads? I've gotten the non-Spanish version of the ad for the same product, too. Why do you think I'd watch the Spanish one and think, oh, wow, You really convinced me. You just said the same stuff that I've already heard in another ad, but now I can't understand it. Like, the people in the marketing departments really need to step it up and just say, all right, this person has not watched anything in this language whatsoever at any point since we started tracking their information. Why are we showing them ads in a language they don't understand? Like, that just wastes money. It confuses the potential customer that you are showing the ad to. And it probably makes the person hate you even more, at least the company slash brand. Just why? Why would I get an ad in Spanish and think, I gotta buy it now? It's one of the most confusing things I've seen in the past year. Like, just an example. The Google Pixel 6 ads. I saw them. I got them a bunch on YouTube. And it's just like, okay, I'm watching this on my iPhone. You probably want me to switch over to your phone, obviously, but I'm not going to buy it because I don't really have the money to buy a new phone. And if I did, it wouldn't be the Google Pixel 6 for the magic eraser option to erase people. But then you show me an ad, and it's literally Google Pixel 6. What made you think I want to buy it now? What is wrong with these people? All right, just for the record, your comments, they are not funny. I'm just going to put that out there. You're not funny. Unlike my ringtone, which is extremely funny, but you don't get to hear it here. Can you guys hear the chair creaking? If so, that is extremely awkward and unsettling. Yeah, you can hear the chair creaking. They just got you to talk about them and give them free advertising, so it must be working. Yeah, we're watching. Since we're on the topic still, might as well mention the ads on Peacock. Yes, we hear every creak of that. Of course you do. Peacock started doing ads, and apparently, even if you pay for the super premium version, some shows are still going to have ads on them, no matter what. You know, the Premium Plus, which is the one that's supposed to be ad free. Some shows will still have ads on them. We've been getting Spanish ads on Peacock for some reason. Like, why? We haven't watched any shows in Spanish. Also, we got another person telling me this was a bad idea. Thank you for that. We got multiple people telling me this was a bad idea. Alright, this is one of those 3-digit numbers where I don't want all 3 of the digits to be the same, because of how superstitious people are. Me personally, not superstitious, but people. There are certain numbers that I just can't look at anymore because people have ruined them. You know what I mean? There's just certain things that you look at after you've seen people talk about them or make jokes about them on the internet. And it's like, I just can't look at that the same way anymore. Like, how can the internet ruin numbers? I don't know how. But here it is before I saw it, and here it is after I saw it. Coincidence? I think not. The internet just ruins everything. Let's be honest with that. The internet is ultimately, it just ruins everything. Like, you can't enjoy one thing without the internet ruining it in some way. You even know how stuff is made? You can't put it on the internet. You know what happens if you put stuff on the internet? You ruin it. That was a very bad joke, but let's be honest, it probably made somebody laugh. Alright, yeah, if I ever do this again, I am not sitting like this with the chair the way it is, because this chair creaking is just awful. Not awkward, it's awful. I know it's awful. You're sitting through it. You, the viewer at home, have to suffer. Or if you don't want to suffer, you could just leave. Why would I tell my audience to leave? That is an awful idea. I think we're going to hit 200 here. 200 resets. Honestly, 20 seconds per reset really does start to add up after a while. $0.02 per post-it note. Once you've stolen enough of them, you've made a profit margin. So after this reset, we're going to end that poll, because obviously most of you people thought this was a bad idea. And let's go to that poll. End poll. 3 votes. Thank you, 3 people, for thinking that was a bad idea. Let's get that back up and that back up. What other injustice in the world can I get upset about? This creaky chair? Probably. Will I, though? Probably not. Great, I messed up the positioning that I was holding the camera in, so now messed up. It looks wrong. I'm going to watch this back later and realize that I've been adding more resets than I've actually done, aren't I? I don't care. It's just a number. An imaginary number to say how much time I've wasted getting something that doesn't exist. Loving that chair creak. Really keeps the viewers coming back. We'll get there eventually. We're going to hit 200. We're going to hit 200 resets. At least on the stream itself. We're going to hit 700 here soon, though. Also, my counter is extremely... It's just weird what I have set up as the counter. You know how some, like we can try to oil the chair. Honestly, that might help. Although I think it's more like plastic creaking and not metal creaking, so I don't think oil would help. It's more like pressure on the chair being... It's more like the pressure on the chair is being relieved. So it's not so much... Yeah, if you heard the plastic, you heard the chair creaking, that's the plastic. Pressure being taken off the plastic, causing the creaking. So I don't think oil is going to help with that. Look at that high quality video. And we're going to switch hands again. Just for good measure. Get that view again. There we go. Isn't that such a great view? So we had 2 people say that I'm going to get a shiny in the stream. And we had 2 people say that this was a bad idea. I'm going to go with that one person that said no. I don't care what those naysayers may be naysaying. And honestly, if I don't get it on the stream, did it even matter? Nobody would care unless I got it on the stream. Also, Rayquaza is just a cool one. Easily the best shiny of all the Gen 3 box legendaries. Groudon and Kyogre, theirs are decent. Rayquaza with the black. It's going to get nicknamed Raycolza. It's an awful nickname, but it's the best I could come up with to follow the color theme that I have going with most of them. I feel like I'm shouting for some reason. I mean, being able to talk for almost an hour straight to basically yourself, that's not that great of a skill, but come on, it's impressive that I can just pretend to talk to somebody this entire time. Yes, we have hit. It's still not halfway to the odds, but we are high. We are over half of 1,000. This isn't really skill, it's more of an endurance test. We're going to hit 700 here soon. I need to invest in a better chair. Right up there with a better monitor. Well, not a better monitor, another monitor. And a decent power supply with more than 3 outlets. Honestly, anybody out there at home, I'd like to challenge you. Try talking to yourself for an hour straight as if you're talking to another human being. It's not easy. Nor is it really that fun. But let's be honest, nothing in life was ever really going to be super fun if you're just trying to grind something out. This is brute strength, no thought involved. Give it a bit longer, we're going to hit 200 resets on stream. And if we work the math out to about averaging 20 seconds per reset, not counting the ones that went longer because of technical difficulties and whatnot, or needing to change something, 200 in an hour isn't awful. 10 more resets, we're going to hit it. So apparently there's a Mario movie trailer coming out tomorrow. And also a new Pokemon trailer coming out. So that should be interesting. Everybody's looking forward to the Mario movie with Chris Pratt playing Mario. You know, obviously the only person that could play Mario, Chris Pratt. He definitely wouldn't have been my 10th choice to play Mario. But you know, good for him for getting work. It's not like I'm going to resent the guy for it. I don't hate him. I think he's a decent actor. He's just not Mario. And Jack Black, you know, good for him for getting more acting gigs. What is my favorite shiny? That is a good question. Honestly, it's kind of hard to choose, but if I had to choose one, it would be Aegislash. Shiny Aegislash. It's just really nice. It's a nice dark color with the red tipped blade. Looks really cool. I also like shiny Sylveon with the inverted colors on it. I think it looks very nice. Let's see. If we had to pick a shiny legendary, well, the one we're doing right now with Rayquaza, I think that one looks really nice. You like shiny Articuno? Isn't that one just like a slightly paler blue than it was originally? Isn't Articuno just like a lighter shade of blue? There's nothing wrong with liking it. It's just not all that distinct. There's absolutely nothing wrong with liking shiny Articuno. I got shiny Dialga. Oh, you have a personal connection to it. Of course. There's always those personal ones. It's probably why Aegislash is my favorite. It's like the first shiny I ever legitimately obtained in some way. I was just sitting, use shiny Articuno and shield a lot. That's cool. I assume you use it just for battling and training up other stuff, probably, because it's a fairly decent legendary. But yeah, when I did shiny Honedge, it's the first time I ever said, okay, I'm just gonna hunt for this shiny, and I'm not stopping until I get it. Obviously, I took breaks. It took multiple days. It wasn't the only thing I was doing. But when I got it, sheer cold, you're using Oko moves on it that almost never hit. Oh, Mind Reader. Yeah, I just saw that. Mind Reader. I saw a strat like that. Use Mind Reader and Sheer Cold is a guaranteed hit. It's a pretty good strategy. A normal Mewtwo. When Pokemon Home first came out and became like you could use it, I started trying to trade for legendaries I couldn't get. The first Mewtwo I got was a shiny Mewtwo. And it's like a legitimate shiny too, so that person was extra generous. Nobody ever expects it. No, because nobody ever expects you to use a move like Mind Reader. You always got to watch out for those moves nobody ever expects you to use. Like Endeavor has become an extremely popular move to use in the last year or so with anybody who just likes to battle. Oh, yep, we got a level 1 Pokemon. It either has a Focus Sash or its ability is Sturdy. I mean, it gets old to see stuff like that, but if it works, it works, and it's cooler than just seeing 10 legendaries on somebody's team. And obviously, I know you can't have 10 legendaries on a team. They expect Blizzard and Hurricane. Well, yeah, Blizzard, 70% accuracy move, unless you have Hail active, in which case it can't even miss. So that's pretty good. And Hurricane, it's not a bad move by any means. Deals decent damage if you get it to land. And it has a chance to confuse the opponent. It's nice. Yeah, let's see. I've been at this for a while. I'm not extremely into battling necessarily. I tried making a couple competitive monotype teams in Shield. Oh, you got both shiny Gastrodons in Legends Arceus. Legends Arceus is a good game to shiny hunt in. You just can't guarantee stuff like the personality, its ability, the nature. It's the only downside about Legends Arceus is you can't breed Pokemon in it to do Masuda. But the odds are insane. Also, aren't Gastrodon also just lighter shades of the original? There seems to be a common theme in what you like. That's why you trade? Yeah. Thing with Legends Arceus is people quickly moved on from just regular shiny hunting and went straight to shiny hunting alphas. Yeah, there seems to be a common theme in the types of shiny Pokemon you like. Also, this setup I have is extremely unorthodox. Yeah, the very clear pattern. And again, there's nothing wrong with liking the ones that are just lighter shades. Some of them look pretty good. Yeah, everyone went straight for shiny hunting alphas. I never had much luck with getting alpha Pokemon that are shiny. I got a shiny alpha Chatot, and that was about it. Oh, shiny Gengar. Yeah, we can agree that it's not that good. And I feel like with Scarlet and Violet coming out, people aren't going to care about shiny Gengar as much anymore because the only thing that made it interesting was its Mega Evolution and its Gigantamax form, where it turned white. Like, that looked good. Was its Mega Evolution and Gigantamax form, where it turns white. But other than that, the Terra Steel I highly doubt is going to have unique forms for certain Pokemon. Therefore, I doubt we're going to see white shiny Gengar for quite a while. Ghastly and Haunter aren't terrible. Well, that's cool. Yeah, I know some people that are into the trading card game. Not like super into it, but they buy packs every once in a while. I think they may have gotten like a shiny Obstagoon. At least I think. But yeah, today is Shiny Rayquaza Day. Hopefully. Shiny Rayquaza, so far we haven't even hit as many resets as I've gotten on others. I was doing a Zelf at one point, and I broke odds on it, and I decided to just take a break from it and do other ones that I was more interested in getting. See, as far as shinies I like ones that differentiate it from the original enough while still matching the design fairly well. Like, shiny Groudon and Kyogre may not look amazing, but I think their primal forms matching up with Rayquaza is very cool. I like their primal forms a lot better, even if Groudon is golden. Goldon, if you will. Oh, you know that yeah, shiny hunting in this game has been fairly easy. The odds are good if you have the shiny charm. Even without it, the odds are pretty good. But you don't like the mini game. Uh, yeah, you do have to get good at the mini game a little bit. Sometimes it does just give you an unwinnable scenario with almost none of the orbs being in the places you need them and all of those electric things. You're going to shiny hunt Altaria soon. Funny story, since how shinies in this game with the ultra wormholes work, uh, you can save beforehand and you'll still get a shiny as long as it's a normal Pokemon, not the legendaries. But you can save and reset continuously in case you fail it or in case you want a better nature. But I didn't save, and I got a shiny Altaria. It used Perish Song. I still caught it somehow before the Perish timer even started counting down. But that scared me when I realized, oh man, I probably should have saved. Also, the shiny hunting for regular Pokemon in the wormholes is so broken. I've gotten like 3 shiny Swellows from doing this. One of them knocked itself out, but still, I have 2. Mega Altaria is your main in this game. Mega Altaria is cool. I almost gave you a heart attack, what, from telling that story? About the Perish Song shiny Altaria? Yeah, Mega Altaria is cool. A dragon fairy type. It's a shame that that typing doesn't exist on just a normal Pokemon. much like Ampharos got Electric Dragon, which isn't really a typing anything else has gotten. Yeah, seriously, my Mega Shiny Altaria story almost gave you a heart attack. I'm gonna be honest, it was a little difficult for me to do that after seeing that it had Perish Song. There are just moves that wild Pokemon should not learn, like Explosion, Perish Song, Self-Destruct. I am going to tell a story now that is not fun. So this was a while ago, but Ultra Sun team, Miss Altaria, Miss Magius, Marowak, Vaporeon, Honchkrow, and Kartana. That seems like a pretty good team. And the Altaria is a Mega Altaria, so that's cool. Yeah, I'm going to tell a story that might actually just destroy you. So I was catching a Lunatone because it was a Pokemon Shield exclusive to trade to a friend who had Sword because they needed to finish their Pokedex. And since I have the Shiny Charm, my Shiny odds are boosted. And of course, when I'm doing that, the first Lunatone I encounter is a Shiny. And what's the first move it uses? Explosion. Right after I failed to catch it using a Quick Ball. Like, of course. Of course, one of the few normal encounters I've gotten happens to be something that just knows Explosion. Exactly. Why? I have had fairly good random encounter luck. I got an Applin just from random encounters, and that wasn't even trying. It was just like a happy accident. And I like Appleton. Appleton's fun. So I've got a shiny Appleton. I've got a green apple pie. And then during my most recent playthrough of Y, because my original save file was lost to time, I got a full odds shiny Absol. No shiny charm, just full odds. You wish Solrock and Lunatone could get Evos that shed the rock type and get fire and ice typing along with. Honestly, that would be cool. That would be cool. It'll never happen, but it would be cool. I'm just excited to see what's revealed tomorrow in the next trailer. I'm sure we'll get a closer look at Wiglet in some way. Wiglet looks fun. I have no real strong opinions on Wiglet, so I don't love it, I don't hate it. There doesn't seem to be any in-between with anybody on Wiglet. Yeah, Solrock and Lunatone really need something to make them a little bit more interesting than just they have the same typing, but they look slightly different. You never thought Girafarig would get an Evo because he's your favorite, but Farigarath? What? Is this like some leak that I haven't seen for a Girafarig Evo? because I've been staying away from leaks of any kind. Not because I'm worried about. No, I didn't. I didn't. I stay away from leaks for the most part because I want to experience games fresh and new. If it's a game that's been out for a while, I'll usually look up what's in it and what's going on. But unless something is presented by the company releasing it explicitly, I usually don't look at it. Super Smash Brothers, on the other hand, if there's leaks for that, sure, go ahead, look at them. It's not going to ruin much. You're always too excited. See, I'm cautiously excited for these new games. Because one of my favorite things about games has always been the stories that they can tell. And with almost every game going open world, you can no longer tell interesting and exciting stories. Like Breath of the Wild, easily the weakest of all the modern Zelda stories. Getting some good cross-gen evos, that's all you'll say. Okay. I know that Primeape is getting one that looks like a caveman. That's about it. All I know about is Wiglet and Graph-ii. Graph-ii looks kind of cool. Not amazing, but cool. Yeah, modern games, almost every series going open world in some way. It's just kind of ruining it. Oh, Dunsparce is getting something? I mean, good for Dunsparce. That snake needs all that it can get. Because right now it's just the weird, bulky, normal type that knows Glare. Glare and Coil. Plus the Primate Caveman leak was confirmed fake. Oh, come on. Well, that stinks if that's fake. That made too much sense. That for a leak, that's pretty good. It made too much sense. If it's not, I'm hopeful it's not a leak. That was confirmed fake. Alright, can we get it on 777? Might be ghost fighting, so that's better than Unga Bonga. I mean, ghost fighting will finally happen on something that's not Marshadow. A mythical that has only had like a couple distribution events going for it. Rather have that than nothing. Honestly, ghost fighting and fire, water are typings that need to go on normal things that you can get without doing a mythical distribution event. Oh yeah, I think I heard of that. It gets too angry, it dies because Primeape already gets too angry about everything. The Mankey line is essentially a walking peptic ulcer. But yeah, we finally need these typings that actually go past mythicals that only get an event every 10 years. Like, when's the last time Diancie had an event distribution? We're nearing 8 years. Hashtag relatable. Yep, you got that right. But we're nearing 8 years on the last time Diancie and Volcanion were distributed widely, at least in the United States. I know some European country did a physical distribution event with Volcanion like recently, but that was one country in the EU, so not widely available. And then you got stuff like Marshadow, where it gets its own movie. It's cool. It's got a decent typing. It gets its own Z move. Yeah, I've never been able to get Diancie or Volcanion because I was never around for their events. And Volcanion, I like Volcanion's design. People don't like it as much, but oh well. Luckily, Magearna is easy. Yeah, Magearna is the peak of a mythical distribution. You can still get it even after the event officially ended. The thing something like Diancie had going for it, it no longer has anymore, being it was the only legendary slash mythical, at least at the time, that could mega evolve. Yeah, in the trading card game you can get them easily, but the trading card game I'm sure just puts mythicals and legendaries. I'm sure the shiny Magearna. I have not seen a shiny Magearna. I think one of the weirder shinies that nobody really talks about is shiny Ash Greninja. Like that's one of the harder ones to find. You can only really get it by transferring over an Ash Greninja from the Sun and Moon demo. That just seems like a painful process. Pink shinies are awesome. Fair point. I mean, just look at Wooper. Oh man, I wonder what Paldean Wooper is gonna turn into. Because they've been doing this trend where the second thing in the line is not just regional variant of this thing. Except for the Hisuian forms. Oh man, those things really need to just be in the normal games at this point. Magmortar. Do you hate Magmortar from a design standpoint or it's shiny? Because if it's the shiny exclusively, I mean, I guess I can understand that. But if it's purely because of Magmortar's design, we're going to have some issues here. The lips. Oh yeah, Magmortar does have very well-defined lips for some reason. I feel like the Magmar line got cheated out of a decent shiny. Yeah, there are always going to be those things that you just can't stand, understandably. Sometimes you just have to live with it. It's not even the cute duck lips anymore. Yeah, fair point. It's just like creepy robot human lips on Magmortar. Look at it this way. They can't all be Gengars. And they can't all be something like a Rayquaza or an Aegislash. They can't all be bad. They can't all be amazing. You just have to deal with some of them. Alright, come on Rayquaza. We're going to hit 300 resets. Not total, just in the stream as of now. I had like 500 some already into this before I started. Yeah, Gen 4, I never played it. But Gen 4 really did have some good ending evos to stuff that needed them. Also, Electivire and Rhyperior are not as bad as people make them out to be. Yeah, Electivire could be better, Rhyperior could be better, but they are better than Magmortar, just purely from a design standpoint. They stuck closer to the designs of Godzilla. Yeah. Powerline monster? I mean, come on. What more do you want? I feel like Electivire, Duckfire, Dragon Lizard. You know, there is one line where they should have not stuck to the closer to Godzilla-esque designs. Yeah, there is one line where they should not have stuck closer to Godzilla inspirations, and that is the Roly-Coly line. Like, that should have stayed. It should have become a train engine. It goes from a singular wheel with an eye to a minecart with a head, and then it just turns into a bipedal Godzilla monster made out of coal. That was a letdown. Like, there is nothing piecing Colossal design-wise other than coal and the color black to Roly-Coly. Yeah, Rhyperior probably should have been more like Godzilla. If it had like orange spikes coming out of its back, that would have been cool. But gun hands? I mean, come on. It has cannons for arms. Is that not cool? I think I am going, once we hit elegant designs, but I think Rhyhorn has some potential. You know, I do have one problem with the Rhyhorn line, and this is purely from just the translators, the original translator of the games. This is on them. But we had Rhyhorn, Rhydon, and then Rhyperior. But you can ride on a Rhyhorn, but you can't ride on a Rhydon. You ever wonder about that? Alright, I think once we hit 300 resets for the stream, I'm just going to call it. Because sitting like this is not the best thing. Hisuian Sneasler is not as bad as everyone makes it out to be. Okay. You can ride on a Rhyhorn, you can't ride on a Rhydon. Just let that sink in. You ever wonder why we drive on parkways and park on driveways? Alright, this will be the last reset. It's not the design, it's the fandom. Yeah, fair point. Okay. Gonna switch over to there we go. Oh man. There we go. Yeah, that seems like a good plan. Time to end the stream. I feel like we hit a decent stopping point. Rayquaza didn't want to come out tonight. So thanks everybody that watched at all. Anyone that watched, that is. Yep. And signing off.